If you are a GKS undergraduate applicant who submitted your documents and now you're waiting for the interview round, this video is perfect for you. But if you're not for that specific category, you may scroll up and check some of my videos for your specific needs. Today's topic is about the interview, and I will share with you one important aspect of the interview that you should really be considering or taking note of, especially while you prepare for the interview round, regardless of the embassy or the university track. So I am Justin. I got the scholarship back in 2020 as a GKS graduate studies. But I'll be sharing with you some insights I gained from some of my friends who undergone the GKS application process, graduates and undergraduate studies. And for the interview round specifically, it's very important for you to take a moment to review, read, and check every details you have written in your personal statement and study plan, because majority of the questions, 70s 80% of the questions, would be coming from the essays. They are the standard questions of your name, why you want to apply for the scholarship program, the basic interview questions. But again, majority of the discussion points would always go back to the essay, the documents you have submitted, even the certificates you have shared. If you shared, like for example, a portfolio, they would ask questions about those. So, how will you be able to prepare for the interview round for the Global Career Scholarship Program? So, the first tip is, if you can, print out all your essays, read them, have them ready, handy, so that during the interview round, if they will be asking questions, you have reference points to where they're asking or making inferring the information from. Because usually you might think, oh, I think I didn't write this, I didn't write this. But to be honest, you wrote it in your essay and then you just forgot. So make sure before the interview starts, before like weeks before the interview round, have your essays reviewed, have them read them, make sure you highlight some points that you think worth highlighting, and points wherein controversy is. So, for example, something controversial about failing grade. You mentioned about not having the best grade or like probably average grade or failing grade. This could be a point of discussion. Highlight it, making sure that you know which part of the paragraph it comes from, so it's easier for you to go back and see the details you've written alongside with that specific controversy or specific sentence. Aside from reading your documents, preparing them, also check all the documents you have submitted. So, my standard practice if you're applying for the Global Career Scholarship Program, because you submit the hard copy, right? What I did, I scanned all my documents, have a PDF of these documents, and then only submitted the hard copies. What's important is that in all of the envelopes I submitted for NIAD, I have electronic copies of those so that during the interview round, in case I'll be interviewed, I have reference points. Like, for example, I submitted, aside from the portfolio, I submitted pictures or I submitted a thesis. I have a reference point of what I've shared. Because again, the interview round is the opportunity for them to sort out the lies from the truth. If you wrote something untruthful in your essays, they'll be able to find out in their interview. How you answered your questions is a different story with the content of your answers. So if things are not making sense, it's a red flag for them now. Another thing that you have to prepare for the interview round is to make sure that everything is aligning, the weather, the internet connection, your laptop battery, everything. Prepare for it. For example, like now in the Philippines, my heart goes to all my countrymen who's experiencing the typhoon. If this is the schedule for the NIED's interview round, I would ahead of time email them, inform them, Hello, I'm Justin. I got an interview scheduled for today. Unfortunately, there's a typhoon in my country that would affect my internet availability and might cause also for power interruption concerns. Therefore, I would like to request for change of schedule, preferably next week. Sending this email signifies you are proactively seeking for advice and help given the scenario. It shows you are on top of everything instead of waiting for them to email you to, oh, how's the weather? How's the thing in your country? Is there any problem like that? Be the first one, be proactive about it. So make sure everything, you're on top of everything, even with the scheduling. If they say 9 a.m., they usually start 9 a.m. So it's a must that you are like 8:50 already in front of your computer or your laptop or your tablet or whichever device you're going to be using for the interview, and you are ready. No more changing of clothes, adding makeup. You should be ready 10 minutes, 15 minutes before. Because usually there's a instruction given by either the embassy or the school that you'll be in the waiting room waiting for them to admit you. But if you're there ahead of the schedule, it shows, okay, this student is really interested for this school. Like, he's way ahead of the schedule. He's on top of everything. Shows enthusiasm. Shows your great interest for the program. That's not explicitly written in their score system, but for sure it shows a positive, it warrants a positive reaction from the university or for the embassy for you being active, being early, punctual. These things are very important as well, especially in Korean society and culture. And probably the last tip, since I'll be giving more in-depth trip tricks and tips and training program for those under my subscription. But for those of you guys watching this, one tip is to always greet them with a smile, starting with your peace. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. This is Justin. I'm thankful, grateful for the opportunity to have this interview. Simple, but it shows warmth. It shows that you care. And I mean, these non-tangible things can actually sway their mind to go to you instead of the other applicants who might appear very professional, but at the same time very cold. Koreans tend to be very stern looking. But again, if you show smile in your face, show that you are interested, you show that you are really excited for the interview, looking forward to what could happen, because it's a life-changing opportunity. This could add points in their mind that this person, this student is actually probably a person that could fit into Korean system. Very personable, something like that. Again, the interview round is a matter of the non-tangibles. It's more of how do you deliver the contents that you deliver, the your personality, the non-verbal cues. These things play a very important role for the interview round. And if you really want to make sure that you're prepared for it, I hope you can join my one-on-one subscription program. I'll try to structure the interview practice so I can schedule a 30-minute Zoom call for those who will be interested, at least for a one-on-one interview. I mean, that's the limit, 30 minutes, but it would be shorter than that if you are very good already. But it's more of like practicing how it goes, the Q&A, how the banter, the exchange, the usual flow. Till then, bye bye.